everyone. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
Okay.
You start off, the floor is yours, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. So, how do you make your business official?
Okay, I'll address that real quick. So, when it comes to making it official, that's all I honestly preference. There is no legitimate way of making it official. When you believe it's official, it's official. Um, as long as you're getting it started and going, that's basically where and execute on everything. Your business is going and running. Some people like to have everything all organized and formatted and things like that. And you have some people who just started from scratch and made millions like that and built on like mistakes and learned on the way. And there was nothing wrong with that. It just depends on how you want to do it.
Okay. Well, okay. So that's a good answer for me, but what I meant, I should have been explained it more like, far as how do you make your business official, far as like, if you go to get it, like the brand, the name official, and like the Better Business Bureau or something, like make it like you're doing taxes or a nonprofit, like that kind of
That's on execution.
officialness.
That's on execution. Like, so, I mean, the moment that you get things going, start putting out content, meeting different people, advertising, and much more, you're pretty much going.
Okay. So, how do you know something needs trademark or copywritten, like copyrighted?
I'm gonna leave leeway on my answer on this one because I know some people. It kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning. Some people like to wait and have it organized and structured, but at the same time, you never know. You don't want to wait too late and somebody steal your, design or idea and something like that. So it just depends and goes more to you. Me, out of my honest opinion, if you feel like this is it or something that needs to be trademarked and so you can start building that brand and much more, and so that nobody else and like you officially own that, go ahead and get everything legally set up. So that way you don't have to run into more issues in the future, because I would hate for you to put all this work and much more into something. And then he's like, okay, I'm ready to. And then, sorry, by the way, you don't own the rights to this.
Oh, yeah, that's not good at all. Okay, so how can I market and make revenue?
Who you ask? That's like a whole 2 or 3 hour description.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see if I can.
I'll give you the quick summary of it. There's no way in heck I could break that down within just a few minutes. The main thing is basically what you were saying earlier, but executing more importantly. You got to become the expert of whatever you're doing, your service of anything like that. Then on top of that, you got to put yourself into like the front lines. You got to start talking about it. You got to be the expert. You got to be open to feedback. You got to build relationships with people. You got to brand yourself. You got to give people value. You got to start selling, building connections, networking at different events and things like that. It's a combination of all that and much more, and just going and building off of that and collaborating with different people. So there's a lot of different pieces to that adds up to your revenue, because when you execute and create out a great amount of content, blogging, written form, or any kind of other format out there, you are putting yourself out there into the market to decide if your service, product, or etc. is good enough to be bought. And that's how you produce revenue, by being the expert and the best there is at whatever industry you're in. Because if you are the best in your industry, everybody's going to go to you. If you are not the best in your industry, well, you need to do some innovation and changes so you compete with the other competition. So that's why I was saying earlier, that is one of those things, like I can go into more in depth, but it's going to take a long time because there's so many different pieces, especially when you come to marketing, because you have social media, you have building connections by phone calls and text messages, and all these other social media platforms are different, from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all that and much more. I mean, they're all different.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good information. And do you have any like opinions on someone who wants a website versus a website, or a regular website, or a website app, or a website and a mobile app? Like, do you have any information on, like, do you feel it's necessary for someone to do that if they want to advertise their product or whatever they have going on?
In my own personal opinion, of course, this is the social media age, so I'm big on that, but I still do believe you need some kind of website. This is my own personal opinion, because you have a lot of people who are traditional, and a lot of those traditional people have a lot of money, but you also have a lot of millennials that have a lot of money around our age, but you
Mhm.
have a lot of old money and people in the corporate that look for that. And then, and in their opinion, if you don't have that, they're going to be like, well, you need to do some more work before I even consider you. I don't agree with that thought process, but that's just how some people are. So you have a lot of different, let's say, I guess, platforms out there which can help you make your website to get started.
Mhm.
Um, you can go like the traditional route and then just hire somebody. Just make sure you have the cash to pay them, and they handle all that. But you also have different resources such as Wix. I made my whole website from Wix. They have easy templates, especially if you know nothing about coding and all that, and all the SEO and much more. They have a great amount of videos to break things down, and an easy user-friendly guide where you can make your own uh, website the best that you can do, and you can make changes on the spot. But they also allow advanced editing where you can go inside for the coding and all that and much more if you want to go more in detail. I think you also have another platform called, I believe it's WordPress, Press or something like that, and they allow you to make your own websites. Of course, you can easily, there's probably like thousands or hundreds or more different platforms out there that you can use. I mean, heck, you even go to Fiverr, pay someone off of their platform to make your website. There's so many different resources, but the choice is up to you to get it done.
Oh, good. And I guess the last thing would be for me, do you have any discounts information towards sponsoring or anything for companies? Do you have any information how people can get that done for their company?
Like, you mean creating their own discounts, or you asking that for my own business?
Well, yours or anybody else is like, oh, like, how do you, okay, what I'm trying to say is, how would you advise someone if they need sponsorship for their company, if they're hosting an event or something to build credit so people would come to their business? Do you have any information towards that?
When it comes to that, I would say know your customers. And what I mean by that is, when you know your marketing customers, you're going to naturally build relationships with them. And just like any other store, if you think about it, who I want to use for this, I believe, well, let's go to somebody like Walgreens, well, or most retail stores like Marshalls. You know how, like, I say get a credit card, you start buying, or even Target nowadays. Like, once you get into their database system, they start offering rewards, discounts, and things like that because you are now their customer. So they want to keep you as their customer. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
build a relationship that way to keep them coming to you. And that's when it'd be a great opportunity to offer discounts because they're loyal. Every
Mm-hmm.
business, I don't know who won't love loyal customers. Loyal customers keep you up alive on a rainy day. So you want to make
Oh,
sure that you keep them happy. So give them incentive to stay there by giving them discounts, offer rewards and things like that. So they can be like, I know this person or other person starting there, but I'm gonna stick over here because I'm getting all my perks over here. I mean, that happens all the time. So use your own kind of perks, discounts along that way to give people an incentive to stay. Because if you just I mean, we all made this mistakes. I've in the beginning, just give a discount to somebody in the forefront, uh, and it's like, okay, cool, I got the discounts, and they just pretty much run off. It's like they're gone because
oh
they don't have
yeah.
no reason to stay. So you want to kind of bring them in and then give them a reason to stay, and stay loyal to you so that your business can stay afloat.
Okay. And do you feel logos are important, like how you attract your customers?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Are you crazy? Man, look around the world. Are you? You got Samsung, McDonald's, you got Nike. I mean, you got Target. I mean, everybody. I break it down when it comes to logos and stuff like that. Much more people like to connect to something. Like, for instance, you driving down the highway, you see the Golden Arches, you automatically think of McDonald's. Let's be honest, or the Happy Meal, something like that, or just probably some different sounds, or like even with other ones like from like Target, Netflix, Hulu, the streaming platform, or when you see that little half curved smile on the box, you automatically think Amazon. It's those kind of things, or even sounds that is part of branding and building a relationship. But brand is what makes you the big bucks. I don't care what nobody says. It may take a lot longer, but brand is definitely the thing that's going to make you the big money, because you want to get to the point where people just hear a sound and be, oh, that's that business, or just see the colors, because colors is another big thing into branding. Have you realized that every time you go into like Walmart, you always see the same colors, or every time you see a Walmart, not Walmart, Whataburger, they're always the same color. You don't see a Whataburger with orange and then you see another one with pink. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, color goes along with it. So it's like the little details that most of us miss that play a huge part into marketing. Even another thing, like I even learned this in college, is like, you ever notice when certain stores kind of tell you how they want customers to feel. Like, for examples, if you go into like say a luxury retail store, they play like elegant, kind of slower tempo music because they want you to stay. They want you to take your time. Versus you go to something, let's say probably McDonald's or other kind of like low end, they play something more high tempo because they were saying like, hey, once you get in, it needs you to heck out. It's just, so it's little details like that that go a long way.
Okay. Well, I believe that's it on my questions, like towards information I needed on business. Unless you have anything you would want to advise me to know as starting mine.
Just do it. You learn on the go. And of course, you're going to have more questions. I'm going to just send you the MP4 of this so you can just have it for your own review, because that's what it's all about. I mean, I can tell you so many different things all the time, but nothing actually beats actually doing it. Because I can show a person how to shoot a basketball all day, but nothing happens until they actually shoot the basketball.
That is true. Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
I have a lot of questions for the video though. Unless you want me to ask you now.
Oh, you can go ahead with the video. So come on.
Okay, so just like some basic editing questions. Okay, I'm having issues because I shouldn't probably have issues, but I'm missing something. So it's the editing for words, sound, adding images, and adding clips of other videos to be inside a video. Those are the things that I really want to master, and maybe I can see an example from you, or you could send me a link to maybe I don't know how that could be done. Whatever works for you.
So first, I got to start off like, what software are you using to edit your stuff?
I'm using Adobe Premiere Premiere Pro, and
Okay,
I guess
good.
the whole Creative Cloud.
Good. So that makes everything easier. I'll just basically use an open interface from scratch and just do it live. That solves all that without even sending a link, so you can just keep replaying the video.
Awesome.
Go ahead and get on these questions on this. I'm gonna go ahead and switch my screen over here. Let's see. Oh, nope, not that. Definitely don't want to do that. Oh, here they go. Well, let's see. This should be it. All right. You should see my interface. See that?
Mhm.
Like you see the Adobe Premiere and all that.
Mhm.
All right, good. So shoot your questions so we can just knock them out like rapid fire.
Okay. So, how in a motion picture to make something look, if like kind of like a PowerPoint, if like the words slid by, or in a fancy way instead of just text, like how could I make a words
So you're talking about just
flow?
regular, you're talking about animating the text.
Yes.
Okay, there's two ways to do that, but I'm gonna keep it simple in Adobe Premiere. Of course, you can do a lot more. Just a side note, but I'm not gonna address this here. You because it's probably gonna take a little bit more time. But you can use After Effects. After Effects
Mhm.
allows you to use a lot of different animations into your text and much more. But once I show you how to kind of do it on Adobe Premiere, it's
Mhm.
pretty much similar. It's just a different interface, but the way you do it and kind of make the changes is the same way or similar to Adobe Premiere. But anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and just load something randomly up. So you're talking about like just putting like a text on there or something like that. So
Yeah.
let's see. I'm just going to use something real quick. What can I use? I'm just going to use, let's see. I'll just use this for fun. Now, of course, this is probably like basic stuff you probably already know, but if not, like if you want to put things in your timeline, of course, this part right here's a timeline. Just drag it over here and now send it to my working space where I can make my edits. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that because I haven't adjusted my sounds. Can you hear the video?
No.
If not, that's cool. I just talk all the details. So, like when you're adding text, of course, you have the video that's originally playing right now. You can't hear it, but I definitely can.
Mm-mm.
But when you want to start adding text and things like that, you can easily do that by just clicking on this little part right here, this little part that says graphics. This is where you insert all different text. Now, of course, here you have different kind of presets right here, like from the line credits, all that, much more. All this can be changed. Trust me, like you can change anything into Adobe Premiere, but they make it easier by providing you templates so you can go from there. Let's see. I think I'm gonna start with where is it at? I think yeah, the basic title. All right, when you come to text and things like that, of course, you probably already know you just bring it over here, drag and drop. Then you have the text right here. I'm trying to bring it to a spot where it's a little bit more dark so you can see it. I just drag it over here just for the heck of it. So of course you see how the text disappears on top of my already logo. Of course, I'm gonna move this over. We'll click over here and drag it so you can see a bit better. Now how to animate this. Now, if you didn't know, there's something called transitions. That's how you actually animate a lot of text. Now, of course, you can go a lot more advanced and things like that. I'll briefly go over that. Just for starting off, if you just want a simple fade in, you can easily just click on the edge of this. See how my cursor just changes this with an arrow?
Mhm.
And you can just right click this and just, let's see, hold on, get a little bit closer. Apply default transition. The default transition, you see how I said crosses off?
Mhm.
So now instead of just popping up, accidentally hit two things at once, it actually fades in. See how it faded in? I'll play it again.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Versus just popping up. I'm gonna delete the crossfade. I mean, just popping up like that. So it all comes down to transitions. Now, how you get to more transitions is this little tab right here called effects. So you see how you have all these different presets. You can actually type into this little search box. You have the presets, audio effects, audio transitions, video effects, video transitions, and much more. And then they were nice enough to put in this for these folders, so it's nice and organized. So I definitely recommend you playing with different effects so you kind of get the feel of using all these. But I'll use this as a quick guidance just for this. So when you're talking about transitions with the text and much more, you can easily do something like, what do I want to do? Give me like video transitions or video effect. No, video transitions. So you see how we have 3D motion dissolve. You have all different kinds of effects in here. Like this. And then on top of that, you can download more, but I'm gonna just keep it simple and just say, let's do slide, keep it simple. Like a push motion, I can drag that, put on here. And now when the text comes out, see how it slid in?
Mm-hmm.
So you got
Okay.
so in the sky's the limit, you have all different kind of things you can do. Or I can switch it up and do something like, let's try 3D motion. I don't know how it's going to do on a cute fit because it's just a text, but nah, it's just, well, I'm curious to see how this goes if it does apply it. Because usually you have to have the actual video. Nah, I think it's like, that's a text. What are you doing? Let's see. Let's see if I can, I'll try. Split should be able to do it. Hold on. There we go. Trying to drop it on there. It's like, hey, I don't want to apply this. Let me redo this. I think it's getting confused. You can also just click on here too and start text. That's another thing. You don't always have to drag something on there. See, I just clicked in there and this little button right here became active. As soon as I clicked on here, I can start typing, the text appears. So you don't always have to just go to the tab and just go to the presets and just start from there. Go into graphic tab and just click that to activate that and start going. All right, now let me see if I can go back to add these effects again. See if I can try a band slide. Just did a while ago. It can also work the other way around too.
Oh,
I was trying
yeah.
to do something different though. Let me see. Split. And I just split. So it's all different effects you can just play around with. Like there's probably like hundreds of thousands of different ones, but that's how you add effects to your text. And then when you click this text again, I like to double click it sometimes. Let me get out of this because I got all these folders. I'm gonna do this and go back to effects. Click here. Oh, let me get out of all this. Oh yeah, effects controls. Yeah, I'm gonna go from scratch. Anyway, so when it comes to editing text, of course, you click this, that's how you're able to actually start texting in there. Click this as a regular cursor to move it around. Then you have different things, edit, you can razor, all these different slip, hand tool. Like if you ever play with Photoshop, these are kind of similar tools. Then you have from this transparency, where you can kind of bring it in so it can be seen or faded out. Excuse me. Of course, you have the vertical center, horizontal center, align to the top, and all these different things to make sure it's straightened. This gives you the coordinates of everything. You can change the color. So like if I want to change this to red, I'll kind of give you a little bit more on the text real quick while I'm still here. So I can highlight that, change the fill color. My fill's on another screen, so you probably ain't gonna see. I'm gonna drag it over here so you can see it. All right. Peak red. Now sudden, your red text. So then you have the stroke, the background. So if I can, it's gonna probably be hard to see the background. Let's try it because it's on black. Let me see. Well, you can kind of tell a little bit. See how it is? Kind of got the edges. And then, of course, background, shadow. and things like that. This is very familiar, especially if you ever mess with Photoshop. And then you can change the font from right here. Any kind of preset fonts you already have downloaded on the computer, you can change that around. So if you wanted this into a different font or you found something online, you highlight that, click in within here, and just switch it to different fonts. See how that changed? So
Oh
you
yeah.
have different kind of options. And then of course, center align, left align, right, and all that much more, from bold, italic, all of the stuff you see in Microsoft Word and much more. All that stuff is right here. As soon as you hit the graphic tab and then activate it, you see all this over here.
So when you pull that file up, you have to put it down at the bottom for it to be in the top.
Like, what you mean?
Okay, so I wanted to ask you when you did it, but I didn't want to cut you off. It was like you pulled out that file with to make this whole display for text for me, and it's like you put it. What's it called? The one at the bottom on the right?
Are you talking about this?
No, the whole area. What is
Right.
that called?
Well, this whole right here.
No, over to the left, the middle.
Trying to see your time.
The middle, like with the time. How you see how it has the time at the top?
This
One.
timeline.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing it's under. I mean, on top of the whole thing. What is that area called?
All this, like, each is different sections is your workspace area. So you
Well,
have your
yeah, that workspace area is what I'm asking about.
this one.
Yes, how did you get it from there to pop up there? Is that going to happen every time
Anything that
someone
you
does?
drag into here is going to appear right here automatically. And if your
Oh,
worst
okay.
case scenario, let's say something completely gets out of whack, because I know this happens, you can always go here, window, workspace, and just reset the whole thing. Like, that's what I do sometimes when it gets really kind of active and crazy. And it's going to reset my
Yeah,
whole.
I have an issue with resetting the whole thing,
Yeah, that's what I
so
just showed
it's
you.
good. Yeah,
Window,
it's
that, it
good to
resets
know.
the whole thing. Well, I always personally like to start with assembly. So I'm just going to delete all this real quick. So anytime you want something to appear right here, of course, what I do, I just double click into this space and it brings up this. I have a window, so when I double click, it brings this up. That way, anything I can have within these folders on my own computer, I can bring in. And that's how I was able to bring in the other videos. And then just from that, I can either like click and drag this. Well, usually it does. But since I probably did it that way, I can just double click here. It's going to drop it into this workspace. This is just the
Hmm.
workspace. And then I drag it to the timeline. I'm going to change the sequence. So as soon as I did that, it automatically gave me the preview up here. So when I hit play, I see what I'm working with.
Mm.
I'm gonna bring it. And of course you might want to bring this to the beginning so you won't have like a blank video for like 30 seconds. But everything you do within here in the timeline workspace is what people want to see. And this is the preview for you as you edit this workspace up top.
Okay. Well, okay, so if someone wanted to be add images of special effects, okay, for instance, you know how when you watch the news, there's always that bar at the bottom running with information.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how to give me an example how to do that?
Okay, so 2 ways you can do it. I'm just going to show you the simple way with an Adobe Premiere template. You can
Okay.
either make that from scratch or you can use a template. So I'm gonna start off with a template real quick. So you can go to graphics because they actually have something like that already in here. That's why I like these little advanced things. And if you go to you're talking about the text actually has something that appears on the side, kind of like that. You see this?
I believe our pictures are covering everything.
Let me see. Can you see this screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you see this? The template? Yes?
It's the same picture.
No, I'm just
Like,
saying like the presets over here while my mouse is covering.
oh, I could see templates, but I just didn't know if you had
Oh, I haven't added
put.
anything yet.
Oh, okay.
So what you do, you click that, you drag it and drop into here. So let's say this is just one of the pre-templates. So that when it plays out, so that came up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's a a template that how it works. And you can edit this just like anything else. You click into here, you have access to edit the text and all that and much more.
Okay.
Now the advanced way, which will take a lot longer, is you actually getting a transparent. The easiest way I can think about doing this, let's say you get a. Let me see if I got it already on my computer, so I can show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I have like a blank white sheet. That's not the exact size I need because I want to kind of show you. You can use this. So it's probably way too big, but like I said earlier, you have the presets or you can make your own version of it. So let's say I would make this a complete size in editing, but the advanced way was building this thing from scratch is I have black, so I'm gonna put text on this black part. So what I would do is click this, go to effects, editing. I'm going to go ahead and scale this down. See how I click editing, just so you know where I'm at. I click that to
Okay.
activate that, and then I click editing, and then I'm gonna move this. Of course, I would make this more of a kind of rectangle, probably a little bit slimmer, but I'm just using this as a quick example real quick. And let's say, then I'll bring it to here, probably a little bit to the side. Of course, I'll probably shape this a little bit different, but again, this is just a quick example. I will have this come in, and then I will add a text. So I'll go to graphics, as like I said earlier, go to that spot. This is already on. I would click into here and see how I added another part on the timeline on top of this. So I have the black background, and now this is my text part. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. And what I would do is I would just align this part up with this. I'm gonna click back here to activate that. Make sure I'm on that. Click within here. I'm gonna just click let's say click a little whatever text. And what I would do, I would fade these in together at the same time, so it looks like one of those like name bars that we just showed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So that when it comes in through your video, it appears like that together collectively. It looked like it was made for that to come in.
Oh, I see.
So you can either use a template or you can make them from scratch. It don't have to be even this simple. You can make it even advanced. You can add your own transparent little video. Like I guarantee they probably had like a transparent video of the globe added with whatever they had in the background and the preset.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing I'm trying to show you is like the fundamentals of trying to make that. So of course you have your text layer, something in the background, so your text go up on top of that so they can see it. If you want to add like a whatever picture in here and all that, you can, or whatever video, transparent video. So the main thing is like once you understand how to kind of make it like that, and the more you play with it, you'll be like, oh, I can make my own. I know how to do it.
Okay. And far as that little square that you had put that text
Mm-hmm.
in, is that the way they also add videos or images in a video?
Yeah, you just drag it in. Like for example, like you were talking about earlier about, I'm gonna delete all this again. Like a slideshow. Slideshows is very easy on here. You can just easily seeing everything. You want to make sure. Can you see everything?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
All right,
see.
so I'm just gonna just randomly grab something. So I'll grab these couple photos and see how everything dropped into my workspace of assembly. This is the assembly tab. And I can just, they're already highlighted. So I'm going to click this, drag this over into here. By the way, the bottom part is audio. The top part is actual visuals. So that's why it appeared just up here. There's no sound to this. It's just a picture. So it's part of the top. So that like when this is being played, each, see how it has different blocks. That's how long each picture is. Of course, when it drops it in, because of how the frame rate, I'm showing where I'm at editing. So if I want to show a little bit more of this, see how this is highlight. So I know I'm on the right one. I'm gonna scale this back some so I can actually see what I'm talking about or trying to show. And you just play it. And then when it comes to the next video, it's gonna switch to the next one. Similar to like when you're making PowerPoints and things like that, it just plays like that. And then when you want to add, let's say, transitions, again, effects, video effects, and what you would do, I mean, not video effects, my bad, video transitions, and you just add them between. So I'll put like, I'm just playing around, put the cross zoom here. I'll put this one here. I'm just randomly grabbing different ones. Okay. Let's see, I'm gonna get this one, drag it here, so that when I play it and it gets to this part, let's see, it shows a transition. I had to slow it down because I'm pushing my computer playing this Zoom and I got two screens going. So hopefully this one's a little bit smoother. See, I switched the transition, black and white.
Yeah.
And then the other transition will kick in. Let me see if I can slow it down so I can see it. So they will be, here's something I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. So depending on, keep in mind, I'm pushing the heck out of this laptop. I got two screens going on, Adobe Premiere and Zoom. So I'm not too mad at my laptop. It's actually doing pretty good, at least the thing that freeze. I'm just being honest. So what I do a lot of times when I have a lot of crazy editing is I like to render in and out everything. Rendering kind of like, you see right how it was yellow, and when I'm rendering, it turns from green. Now in a minute, when this gets through, it shouldn't take that long, hopefully. Let's see, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, see how that just turned green, yellow. See all that yellow and red. The red part is where it kind of struggles the most on the preview screen, so that's why you probably didn't see it. But when you render it out like that, see how this whole thing turned green? Now this whole thing should play smooth now. I have no issues. So this is just a little added on tip especially when you start editing. Because depending on how strong a computer is, if you have like a lot of yellow and it's definitely red and you're trying to like look at it, it's going to appear real kind of shaky, static, because it's trying to show you what it looks like, but it's kind of pushing. So a lot of times, like if I have a lot of stuff in there, I just wait and render it out, let it do its thing. That way I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. All right, what else you got?
Oh yeah. Okay. Pretty much just sound and sound effects, like just the area that you just advised to keep it simple, because while I'm learning more.
Oh, and also keep in mind you have a lot of videos. Like when you first open up Adobe Premiere, of course, I'm past that part. You have a lot of tutorial videos. And also on Adobe Cloud, they have tutorial videos that break down every little action on Adobe. They want you to learn their software. I think there is a learning space somewhere on here.
So it's on the whole cloud.
Actually,
period.
it's right here too. So
it's
on the Adobe website, and then you have a learning tab. So if I click the learning tab, you see how it broke down everything? Start from here, the basics, skills, and all that. You can watch these one by one. Now, of course, we're going to cover the main stuff to get you started, the more advanced stuff. You can find probably more in detail on the website. You can also look up different, try different things. They got different courses from other people on YouTube and all that and much more. I mean, there's so much. I mean, there's something new on Adobe Premiere like every other day. It's one of those, just like Photoshop, you never stop learning. There's something new always happening. They're always updating it. But let's see. When it comes to audio, same thing. You know, I'm just going to grab something real quick. Double click the workspace. Of course, you're not going to be able to hear it. But I'm just going to, you just do it like anything else. See, you have a little wave thing. You drag it. You drop it right here into the audio file. And I wish I could get you to hear it. That's all good. So like, but you can tell it's playing music because this is going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also lets you know like if it's peaking or not and things like that. But that's how you have music in the background of your videos and pictures. You just do it what I just simply did. You click it, drag it, and drop it from there.
Well, yeah, I'll just also click on one of those learning files to learn something too. But I like kind of like how you explain it, because it's always a shortcut that somebody's not saying or they're not explaining it the same. So
there's always new shortcuts coming up. I mean, shoot, they may release an update and this just got more simple. That's why I said it's one of those, it's software that never stop changing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like it, and I like. I was told about other softwares, but this one seems very legit. I think it's good.
Yeah,
as well.
You have all different kind of ones. Me, my own preference, like sticking to Adobe because they have everything from your graphic designs, your video, your audio, your animation, all that and much more, all under the cloud in one stop. I just like it like that. That's just my preference.
Well, I do have one more question. How do you, if you get a file that's not, you just random have a file of videos or whatever, and you want to put it on Adobe Premiere, how do you actually do that if you never used it, don't have no information on Adobe, and save it on your Adobe Premiere? Basically, how do you save it on there? So if you want to go back and continue the project, like what area do you go to?
Oh, shoot, that's real simple. So you would easily, like whatever video you got to, you would download it to your computer and do the same steps I was talking about earlier, whatever. You click and drag the video, place it into the workspace and all that. I'm not going to repeat that because you've seen me do it multiple times. But when you're talking about saving the project, something real simple, and all the Adobe's user faces are similar. You just click the file and you go down here to save as, and then you just select whatever folder you want to put it into. I just have mine automatically preset to this. You can make your own folder into your computer and you just type it, whatever name you want to call it, save it as Adobe Premiere Project, and then click save, and that's it.
Also, pretty much like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, like I'm going to close this out on purpose. Let's see, just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to close all this out on purpose. Let's see, it probably stopped. I'm going to share it again. Hold on. Share that screen. All right, can you see? Can you see my other screen?
Yes.
All right, so I'll go here. It would put on my other screen. Let me drag this over here. All right. So videos, I just have mine set like this, Adobe Premiere. So all of these is save projects. So I'm just gonna load something completely random. I may not have all the files to these because I don't move stuff, but this is actually how you would click it. I just double clicked it. Of course, it would show the Adobe Premiere load on my original screen. I'll drag it back over there. Give me a minute. It's loading. Just know that. Just on my first screen. Oh, it came back over here. And of course, yeah, I do know I'm missing some stuff. I'm not too surprised. Now I moved some stuff into my external hard drive. You're not going to get this, but if you do move something from its original location like I did, it's going to say, hey, we want to load this project, but we're missing these files, bro. So this is just letting you know. So I'm just going to continue offline because, yeah, I already knew they were missing. So this is actually, when you load it back up, of course, it won't be red like that because it's missing. But whatever work that you did earlier, it would just load just back like that. And this will be the video, below will be the audio, whatever you had in this working on, the assembly and all that, that'll be showing up here as too. Of course, it's saying question mark because it's telling me like, I don't know where the heck your file is.
Okay. Well, yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the questions.
Cool. And if you have any more questions, just let me know. I can break them down even further.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.